Rahu Ketu, the most feared planets after the planet Saturn. And after the planet Saturn, Rahu Ketu are they take the longest time to complete and go from one zodiac sign to the other. It takes about nearly 18 months. So every 18 months, the Rahu Ketu changes its house. And they are both shadowy, both malefic planets according to Vedic astrology. But like I spoke about Uranus, or I speak about Saturn or Rahu Ketu, even when their transits are taking place, they are having a very categoric effect on our life. And if we can handle this situation and if we can take the right decisions during this time, then trust me, the rest of the life becomes easier for us. Now what happens is that both these planets are representatives of a karma. That means they are an reaction to the actions that we have done. So basically karma is an action of the thoughts that we seed in our mind. And now what are the reactions that happen? They happen during these transits of the Rahu and Ketu. And just for your knowledge, Rahu and Ketu are changing their houses on 17th of August 2017. Now, and they deliver the results exactly as per our deeds, while Rahu signifies our future. Ketu denotes our past. So Rahu is, though it is known as the dragon's head and the dragon's tail, but according to me, it is like the Kundalini awakening, which is represented by serpent. So when Rahu is denoting the future, it means that the way the snake sheds his skin and gets into a new skin, into the new environment, and he does not look into the past. Similarly, Rahu, which actually looks into a future, we need to leave our past actions or misdeeds or habits or probably the things that have been troubling us behind, not look back and be comfortable in the new life that is ahead of us. Now how can this be happen? By actually not getting into illusions, because Rahu gives us illusions. By not getting carried away, or by not getting greedy, by being completely introspective and knowing what our positive and negatives are, what is our attitude towards our life, and how we need to change our negative attitudes so that the future is much more bright, because as they say, attitude is your altitude. Now when planets like these, or when important planets like these are changing their houses, basically there is a major transformation and we need to act immediately. Now how does major transformations happen is when we correct or do the corrections within our own psyche. We do the corrections with our mind. We keep reminding ourselves that everything is transitory in this world. And there is nothing that cannot be changed. Do not go and fall a prey to illusions. Do not fall a prey to the rosy carrots. Be more practical, be realistic. You need to take concrete steps and deliberate steps, but also steps after taking a thorough checkout that hope I am not being impulsive. Or I won't say hope. You have to be sure that you are not impulsive, you are not impatient, and you have done your homework well before making any commitments, whether it is in your relations personal or whether it is in your professional. So that's the future. So when Rahu is changing his houses, it is the future for you to decide. So you have to leave the past negativity behind so that your future is much more bright and much more realistic. So be prepared for the major transitions happening. Now how the transitions are going to happen, because the Uranus is going retrograde and Rahu and Ketu are changing their houses, there are certain facts that will come in front of you, and you have to deliberately read the facts, be introspective, and take steps which are good for you. That's how the major transformations take place. Uranus will make you come face to face with the realities of life or with the facts of life. Rahu will tell you what are the bad habits that have been there in you, because every individual is aware when you're actually being impulsive, impatient or greedy. When you're falling into illusions. Your heart and mind wants to do the things which seem so rosy and which seem so glittery, but your mind knows where to put a stop. So that is what you need to do. Now, unpredictable, sudden, unexpected. These are the three things that are going to happen to you when the transits are taking place. And since Uranus is taking place on August 3rd, so it makes you introspective. Rahu and Ketu are changing on August 17th. It makes you sudden, there are sudden expectations that you've been having. Suddenly things will happen to you. So three words you have to keep in mind, that there would be unpredictable. You will actually not realize when situations change or what happens to you. Then there will be sudden and unexpected changes, not only in your behavior, but also in the circumstances around you. So these are some of the ways in which both Rahu and Ketu function, because they love to give surprises. They love to, like Ketu will keep taking you back into the past, while Rahu will keep showing you the future that is bright. How you balance your mind in this particular period is what you'll feel happy about, knowing your strength of mind. So don't allow your mind to go back into the past. Look into the future, but with a realistic approach. So opportunities will come when they are least predicted or when they are least expected. So be prepared. All this enables us to go ahead on the basis of our instincts and to act immediately. So whenever these unexpected things happen to you, you need to make decisions fast. You don't have to think too much, because you must mark my words when I say analysis causes paralysis. You have to be so quick in your thinking that unexpected opportunities are coming, you've taken a realistic check about it, and you go headlong and take a decision and be responsible of your decisions. See, Uranus, see how the cosmic works so beautifully, that Uranus has gone before Rahu Ketu has changed the house, Uranus has gone retrograde. So Uranus has made you come face to face with the facts of life, or the facts of the situations, and it has helped you to analyze in a much more realistic and practical way. So now when Rahu and Ketu are going ahead, when unexpected situations come, your mind is so clutter free and so clear that you will be able to take good steps, concrete steps, and secure steps. And Ketu will pull you back. Because see, when it is moving, when Rahu is moving in a different, so obviously the Ketu is going back. So Ketu is going to pull you in the past. You have to abstain from being pulled into the past or being emotional about past relationships or past jobs. Some people have the habit of saying, oh, my so-and-so year was so good and now the things are going bad. So basically, this is telling us that stop thinking of what had happened in whichever year. Now is the time to get those opportunities, take them in your hand, be realistic, and look forward towards the future. Now basically in everybody's mind, I personally don't take Rahu Ketu as ruthless or evil or villainous planets, but it's a general trend. Everybody thinks that Rahu and Ketu are considered as very ruthless planets. They are there to wreak havoc in our lives and increase our problems. Now my say on this is that they only create problems because the problems have been put under the carpet. So utilize, listen to me well when I say Uranus retrograde on the 3rd is bringing the problems right in front of you. You're coming face to face. Don't push them back under the carpet, because anything that you push back under the carpet is bound to raise its ugly head as and when this Rahu is changing its houses, or when the Uranus has gone retrograde and Rahu has come forward. It will give you illusions, it will give you all kind of restlessness and impulsiveness and greed, and you will get carried away. So now is the time to use your mental strength and do not allow anything, do not get carried away until you have taken a proper deliberate action towards, and then decided that this is what I want to do. So we should understand that both these planets are the chosen ones by the cosmos to actually test our determination, our dedication, and our mental strength. Now they do not do anything without any valid reason or logic. So Rahu and Ketu tests you, and they have some reason behind it. Now basically here I would like to tell you is that there are some desires in our deep down in our subconscious mind. There are some dreams that we have. And when Rahu Ketu give you these things unexpectedly, your mind tends to gravitate and you think that you can fulfill all these dreams of yours. But what is Uranus again reminding you is that take 2 steps back, check it out before you fully commit into yourself and get into oblivion. So this is basically strengthening your mind. So if Rahu and Ketu weren't these notorious planets and weren't these naughty planets who keep testing you time and again, we won't be the strong person that we are today. So if both these planets are making and facing troubles and complications, then it is because you have committed some action in the past for whose reaction you are paying now. So you understand, say Rahu and Ketu, they actually, Uranus makes us come face to face with the troubles. Rahu and Ketu make us aware of this. And basically, if we just do a little introspection, we'll see that whatever is happening in the present situation is the reaction of whatever actions we had taken in the past. So now instead of going into the past, what we need to do is clarify and rectify our future. So we need to ensure that we need to get rid of the old and the monotonous in our life. All the past attitudes need to be taken care of, and we need to build a new attitude in life which will be much more conducive to our growth, love and happiness. Somewhere in my notes I had made these notes for myself because I need to keep reminding myself. For me, it's not that I don't go negative. Whenever I go into the negative or into the fear or the security like any other human being, I immediately remind myself when I'm reading these notes, which will probably be very good for you, that whereas Rahu actually prepares us for the new and the modern thoughts. So he tends to test how much are we jumping into glittery and going into illusionary things which are seemingly bright, but in the end it may disillusion us. So it helps us into the new and the modern thinking, and it wants us to break away from the old thoughts. Whereas Ketu on the other hand ensures that there is a fine balance and brings an end to the things that are no longer needed in our life. So if you actually take it very deliberately, you will realize that whereas Rahu is making us practical and wanting us to adapt the new, the Ketu is wanting us to leave the old things behind and not look back, because when our kundalinis are basically, I would say, when awakenings happen in our life, it's like a serpent changing its skin. So we leave the previous skin behind and we adopt the newness in our life.